In hip hop culture, classic rap albums are judged by two separate but equally important groups: the fans who lived it and the listeners who demand it still hits today. These are their stories. Dun dun. Queensbridge, 1995. Dusty hallways, cold beats, colder intentions. A new album steps onto the scene sounding like survival, paranoia, and street poetry carved in concrete. But now, 3 decades later, the question still echoes down the stairwells. Is the infamous a certified classic that changed hip hop forever? Or just a nostalgia act the old heads refused to let go of? On this episode of Rap in Order, First Class Regg and Taurian B open the case files. They examine Q-Tip's fingerprints, Havoc's production DNA, Prodigy's pen under the microscope, and the album's influence on everything dark, grimy, and real that followed. No revisionist history, no blind reverence, just evidence, testimony, and hard truths. This is Case 271, Mobb Deep, the infamous, classic, or just memories talking. The court is now in session. Dun dun. Welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
And happy holidays.
Yes.
And we're going into 2026. Still crazy to say. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling really good. You have a Roman Empire?
So something that I know you're digging into right now, what the Great Depression?
So I have two Roman empires right now. So one Roman Empire is that I never thought about it, but the Harlem Renaissance and the Great Depression, the Great Depression happened like parallel. So the Harlem Renaissance started earlier, so it started in the 1920s, and then the Great Depression was beginning, but like it was at its height in 1929. So then that kind of halted the Harlem Renaissance. But while I guess when you think about it, industrially, like the country was like in like a bad place, because just production was just shit, and like it kind of like laid the groundwork for how this country is run now. But in the 1920s, because there was the Great Migration of so many Black people moving north, like, you know, free people like from the South coming to New York, like they came, and like we had some people that like became philosophers, poets, artists, dancers, actors, musicians.
Yeah.
Like this great like influx of like talent coming and being kind of concentrated in this one area of New York City where like they could be and like basically regulate themselves, like our police departments and everything like that. So it was a thriving time. And then to think about it, like in other parts of New York, like white, like I guess you could say white people were kind of fucked up. Like it was just shit for them.
Yeah.
Like, and so that kind of like fascinated me.
I think
as you can see, I have the books.
Yeah, I peep. Have you been to the reopening of the studio in Harlem?
So I'm going to go this week, and I'm gonna take Mav with me.
Yeah, it's a really good museum. So I don't know if you remember how it was before, but before they shut down, they shut down in 2018 for remodeling.
Okay.
And it looks completely different. It's 6 floors now.
They took mad time doing it too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they just said, fuck it. Like the government shut down. The COVID shutdown happened. Like they really took their time like that. That's dope.
So with that, it's gonna even feed that rabbit hole that you're on right now, even like fully, because it just made me think of some other things. So like when you start, you know, most people that go to a museum, they start on the top floor anyway and work their way down.
Right.
And that's the full intent on like the experience of this museum. Because when you go to the 6th floor, it gives you the whole history of the museum. Like it kind of just wraps around, then it takes you down to the 5th floor and so forth and so on. But on the 6th floor in particular, it starts you from like the 1800s. Then it wraps around and even focuses on the time period that they took off.
Okay.
You know, so like and it has photos, and like the influence from like the 90s was like crazy, and like all the artifacts and everything that they have from that time frame of all the impact and the people that funded it, and it's incredible. So like if you're in New York, I think I highly recommend stopping by that museum if you can.
Okay.
It's free. It's pay as you wish, you know.
I'm definitely gonna check it out this week and take Mav with me on one of my random long walks. I need to start walking uptown more than I do downtown anyway.
And they even have on the 5th floor, they have like refreshments and everything, so you can stop there too and get something with Mav. But
okay,
really, really nice museum. I'm gonna definitely check it out again.
Okay,
I have to.
Okay, and my other Roman Empire is the Jackson family.
Yeah, you told me about this. I have a couple of those, but yeah,
I have a couple too. Like the Kennedys, of course, is like something that I'm really into. But the Jackson family, I guess it got ramped up with this movie coming out for Michael Jackson's life. And bro, like their lore and their story goes so deep, bro. Like, so I'm not gonna go too long because I can go for hours. But like, so remember when Michael Jackson announced like his first son's name was Prince Michael Jackson, and everybody was like, "Yo, what's up with this dude?" Like, come to find out, his grandfather's name was Prince.
He never said that.
I don't know,
Prince.
I'm not 100% sure, but I guess that gives me something else to look into. So his mother's side of the family is from Alabama. So, they like they have video of them visiting Alabama, like during their victory tour, aka the Thriller tour. They went to Alabama like during a tour stop and like visited their family and visited his mom's family, and it felt so familiar because like they had like their house was built the similar way to like my family's house in Selma, Alabama, or in Orville, Alabama is. I was like, damn, like we found out the Jacksons like we having like shared experiences and shit. But that was like just like a cool thing. And then like, knowing like some of like the messy shit, like Randy and Jermaine having the same baby mother.
Yeah.
And everything like that. All that messy shit that LaToya did in the early 90s.
Mike and wasn't fucking word.
Yeah, Mike and Jermaine's early beef. Just finding out how like Rebe is probably like the most normal and down to earth Jackson, and she's the oldest sister.
Where is she now?
Rebe, I'm not sure if last thing I know is that she was living in like Ohio, but like she comes back and forth to LA and stuff like that. And like even like she had like a hit song. Like every member except for Tito has had like a song that's charted.
Everybody.
Like Tito later before he passed away put out a solo project. But like every sibling has put out something and has some kind of success, which is insane if you really think about that. Like all of them doing so well and everything. But yes, the Jackson family is my Roman Empire. It's just a random thing. Like I even like realized that like on the Victory tour, Mike never performed Thriller because like it was too grand and like he had to like still like allow his
scale it back a little bit.
He had to scale it back. But think about that, like you release the album Thriller, you go on tour, and you have to cater to your brothers, but you make them your backup singers because they're out there performing with you and shit like that. But like it was just too much. Like so, like he just had just all these random things that he had to do. Hey baby, I put him in the crib and he woke back up. So he's with Danny. He's okay. All right. So yeah, like he had just all of these different I lost my train of thought. So going on that tour, he just wasn't able to fully do what he had envisioned to do. So he didn't perform Thriller. He didn't perform Beat It. Think about that.
Yeah, he and
all the girls.
His dad, right? His dad said that.
So his dad and Don Kane came up with a deal for the whole family, and basically it was like presented like, yo, this can help like your brothers and sisters. Like they won't have to like work anymore if they do. Like this tour will be huge. And like Mike was getting so much money. Mike was like, yo, just give my money to charity. I'm gonna do this shit and I'm done with y'all after this. And like so much stuff was happening on tour where like brothers was like, yo, can I perform my song? Mike was like, no. Like basically telling niggas like, you can't perform none of your solo songs. Like we're gonna do my solo songs. We're gonna do a medley of Jackson 5 songs and Jackson songs, and then I'm leaving. And mind you, they only did stadiums.
Yeah.
No arenas. So that's only where football teams play and baseball teams play. No arenas. So think about how big that was, right? And they only did it in the United States, and it still broke. It set mad records.
Still, yeah. I think my people that I get fixated on, it definitely switches sometimes. Like I had a period where it was Stevie Wonder for a long period of time. I was just focused on Stevie Wonder shit. So like that podcast, I don't know if you ever got a chance to check it out. I sent you this podcast to check out.
You talking about the Questlove?
No, it's The Wonder of Stevie is what it's called.
I gotta go back to that. I'm so sorry
I'll
that
send it
I
to you
missed that.
again. But it was like, it's basically focusing on his 5 album run that he had from the 80s leading into the 90s.
Jeez.
We're starting with like Music of My Mind
Mhm.
into like Songs in the Key of Life. So like, but it chronicles obviously from the beginning leading up into that 5 album streak. It's incredible. So I'm gonna send it to you again because I know
Yeah,
you would
because
like it.
I feel like he put out an album like pretty much damn near every 2 years during that time frame.
Yeah, yeah. And that's when he had like renegotiated. Like his mom was there for him. Like,
Mhm.
yo, nah, like y'all are not about to get my bitch. Like,
That's crazy.
yeah, she renegotiated with shit.
Motown.
Why am I forgetting? Yeah,
Barry
Motown.
Gordy.
Barry Gordy.
Right.
She renegotiated with Barry Gordy and made sure that they had his deal right because they had him from when he was a kid.
Right.
Um,
And he wasn't going through the Motown factory. Like he was writing his own music. He didn't
yeah,
need somebody to write
he wrote
songs
his
for
own
him.
shit. So that was one that was big for me. Quincy Jones, I had a period where I was just like hyper focused on Quincy Jones shit because there's so much with him.
Yeah, well, Quincy, it's a lot.
He
Like,
lived into his
yeah,
90s, so like so much with
Quincy
him.
was so arrogant. He said the Beatles couldn't play music.
Yeah, yeah. So with that, and then he also had a critique of Prince that he couldn't play piano like that. He was like, yeah, it was just alright, you know. But it's like when you look at like somebody like Quincy Jones and think about the kind of pianist that he was able to observe and that
Mhm.
he, you know,
Mhm.
had a hand in their success. So like it's not unrealistic to look at Prince, us not being piano players and be like, yo, he's fucking amazing.
Right,
But for him,
because
it's
he could
like, yeah,
play. Because Prince could play multiple
he could
instruments,
play
but
every
the
instrument.
piano probably was his weakest.
Yeah.
But the fact that he can even do it is something that we couldn't even fathom.
Hmm. He played every instrument. And for us, it was amazing. But for him, it was like, yeah, I mean, that's cool. You know, it's just crazy. And then another one obviously was Mike Tyson. You know, I
Of
think we were
course,
both in that
yeah,
type
yeah,
of
yeah.
warehouse together. And then,
He has another book that I bought, but I have not read yet, and I need to
yeah,
read it. There's another Mike Tyson book, like
okay.
so.
And then currently is Tupac. I've been on
Right.
this Tupac wormhole because of shout out again to Jeff Pearlman because of his book. And it's kind of just making me revisit not just his discography, but like all the lore. I even watched All Eyes on Me the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
I just
Mm.
watched it because I was like, damn, like the way this is just a bad movie because the way they glossing over everything. It's like they touching on little things here and there,
Yeah.
but like you'll see him in a scene and he'll have on the jeans that say MC New York
Mhm.
or whatever, and it's like, all right, that's like if you know, you know, but they didn't expound on that at
Yeah.
all.
I don't
They
think
just
that Benny Boom, like I love Benny Boom, but and like yes, he represents hip hop. It definitely should have been somebody like a Antoine Fuqua or like a Spike Lee, like somebody that's like I know that like some people be like, well, we don't want white people making our movies, but I bet you like somebody like a Martin Scorsese could have like saw like nuances that like would have like been touched on for that movie. Like
hmm
there's a certain way to like storytell and like go through like what needs to be done. And there's certain filmmakers that just have that, and I don't think Benny Boom has that. Like,
yeah,
yes, he can make a movie, but I don't
yeah.
think he should have been a person trusted with telling that man. Like,
hmm
that was an important story. Shit, even Notorious, even though that I'm grateful because that was the movie where like I like my first like paid gig working in the film industry.
hmm
Like we should be handling these movies better with better like with directors who like are esteemed to
hmm
like tell these stories because it's like these are our stories.
hmm
So like you know like it's great that like somebody's trying to do it, but it's like nah, we need somebody that's like, you know, like Antoine Fuqua telling Michael Jackson's story makes sense.
hmm
And I believe Antoine Fuqua was trying to tell Richard Pryor's story as well, but like it just didn't happen. It just didn't
Yeah,
work out.
yeah.
But like think like directors like that, FF Gary Gray
hmm
is somebody who I would like trust to tell that story. So
Yeah.
for Tupac, I hope that like I mean there's a bunch of fucking Elvis movies. There's Frank Sinatra like in Rat Pack
Yeah.
movies.
I
Like
think
I hope that somebody takes another crack at telling Tupac's story because yes, like his lead up, but like once he was a star, like you said, it was a short period of time. Like think about it, like he went to jail
hmm
and then got out and pretty much hit the ground running.
hmm
And like that was what an 18-month span.
yeah. Yeah.
Think
And
about
then
that.
even like you can even shorten it and say like within that last 6 months of his life,
Yeah.
it was insane. Like he was everywhere. He dated so many women that are still out in the entertainment
hmm
industry today. And we still hear new stories about his dating life. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And all of these women, like loved him, and like none of them like talk shit. Like they all understood what the fuck it was. Like that's another thing. I don't know if that was the thing about women in the 90s or what, but like you ever notice that? Like when like these women, like they all equally be like, yo, we loved him.
Yeah.
Like, and that was Pop. And like they all talk about him like they knew him like a book.
Yeah. And like that, yeah, that was him. Or like he'll write, like remember he wrote the breakup letter to Madonna.
Yeah.
He wrote a letter and breaking up with her. And it's like, damn, like this is like it's Madonna. Like in that era, it was like, yo, that's Madonna, you know? But yeah, no, there's a lot of different eras and a lot of different things. You know, one of the people that I always, you know, that I'm so in tune with like their career also is Eddie Murphy, which we're gonna talk about,
of course.
you know, the documentary. And shit, I guess even lead this could just segue into that.
Let's segue into it. The Eddie doc, Regg, and I got a question for you, and I saw that you liked the post, so I feel like you're prepared to do this. But after we talk about the Eddie doc, I want you to rank Eddie's top 5 movies. I saw you like that, boy.
Oh yeah.
I saw you like
Was
that.
that JBP or what?
Yeah, JBP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think the doc was good, but I think Eddie is at a place where he's at a place in his career where he doesn't really like criticism. He tried like
At all.
and I think one of the telltales of that is that like he doesn't do theatrical releases anymore. I don't think he likes the full on. He likes the surefire bank like hit.
He just wants to put it out, and like if you he doesn't want to have to do press junket, anything. Like he just wants to like put it out and like be fine with it.
Yeah, he doesn't like criticism because he's been criticized a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
think about it. Since he was 17.
So like he'll do something that comes out and it goes to streaming, and for him it's like, yeah, it goes straight to the people. You know, why I gotta do box office this, box office that. And I think you know, I wish he would try to step out there again, like and do that. But all in all, I say that to say like it was a big fluff piece. It was a lot of things I already knew, but I enjoyed watching it because I like what it does for other people, where a lot of people didn't know a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are unaware how famous Eddie Murphy was and how big of a deal he was, and how influential he was.
Yeah,
I think that people don't understand that like when he became famous, comedians pretty much got a catchphrase. And like they kind of like were told to like be that character at all times. And Eddie kind of took the approach like, no, I'm a leading man. I'm Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to play different characters, and I'm going to like set the tone. And like because he grew up watching television so much, like he kind of understood the assignment. So even though John, you know, somebody like John Wayne, who's a fucking piece of shit, fuck John Wayne, but he saw that and was like, yo, this dude is a badass. Or he saw somebody like, damn, what's his name? Is it Jimmy Dean? No, James Dean. James Dean, who like, you know what I'm saying, kind of like revolutionized the film industry or whatever like that. So he took that with 48 Hours and like was a black man pretty much talking confidently to a bar full of white men.
Yeah.
Like, so I think
that's the scene that did everything.
Like that did everything for him, right? So like I think for Eddie, like he was a trailblazer in that sense of the word, and then became like sometimes I get bored just like you do, and like I just watch Eddie's interviews in the 80s, and like I watched the progression. So like that's like kind of like what got me interested in like kind of just want to tell the story of him becoming like a star on SNL, and like not going any further. I just want to talk about him becoming a star on SNL and what it was like, because like you see like the change from him like being like I'm happy to be here to being like I'm that nigga and y'all know it, and y'all can't tell me shit,
and that's it.
That's it. Because you know when he was at SNL, pretty much he saw all the stars coming, so he saw how they acted, he saw how he treated people. So for him, he was able to like say like, all right, cool, like so I have the ability and the access to do all of these things as well. Like he had his entourage, like of people that he wanted around him at all times and shit like that.
Some
and
of
like
them family, some of them like hired help.
Hired help, family, his friends. Like, and like he just took that upon himself to do those things. And like I really like admire like what he did, because he was like the first, like, you know, like Sidney Poitier didn't get to do shit like that. Like he still kind of like had to be respectful and like you present himself. Like Eddie Murphy was like unapologetically himself. That nigga would laugh out loud at shit. He would tell motherfuckers to shut up. Like all that stuff. Like he didn't have
his
like
uncle everywhere. Like he did
and like you wanna know, like now he does it, but he didn't code switch back then either. He was very much himself, like Brooklyn, New York, like himself. And I really, really appreciated that.
Now, like, if you watch his interviews now, he curses a lot, and that's just in his natural speech.
That's his natural.
So when you bring him on your show, you got to expect him to just be himself.
To cut up. I just and it's something that I just really appreciate from Eddie and what he does, and I think that some people don't understand that. Like, I remember one time I was talking to Sarah about it. She was like, "He's donkey," and I was like, "He's Axel Foley." Like, you know, it's like when you're introduced, like, it's just different eras. But for some people, like, you know, he's donkey. And it's like, I don't think it's like a slight, but it's like, it just shows like how long his career has spanned it. And I really appreciate that. One thing for sure though, I don't want him to do stand up anymore. Like I'm refusing your stand up, Eddie Murphy. You've teased it for so long. I don't want it. So don't come back.
He has.
Stay where you at.
He really has, man. You know, obviously I'd be curious what that would be like, but if he doesn't do it, I mean, I'm fine with it. It's whatever. I'm not.
Would you pay to go to a show?
Absolutely. If he did it,
because it's kind of like a once in a lifetime.
Yeah, because he's not gonna do it again.
Yo, bro, I've seen the tickets for when he went on tour, bro, and I'm like, Jesus, it was $25.
That shit was
shit was dirt cheap.
Yeah, I remember somebody put up a ticket of their mom going to Thriller. It was like $15.
Bro, crazy.
Going to go see not Thriller.
Bad.
Yeah,
the Bad tour.
Yeah, Bad tour,
bro.
And it was
crazy.
like $15,
bro. Dude, don't even get me started on what Mike did with the Bad tour,
bro.
He sold out Wembley Stadium seven times.
7 times,
bro. I don't think you understand. Wembley Stadium is one of the biggest stadiums in the world. I think it was the biggest stadium until Michigan. I think Michigan, the Big House, has the biggest stadium now.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
I believe so. But like, you know, like that's like one of those like. Don't get me fucking started on Michael Jackson selling out shows.
We got. I mean, for the most part, everybody that I named is like who I put in like the original black person category.
Right.
That's like the OG black people, you know, that like was around this shit and really helped mold it.
Okay.
You know?
All right. So give me your top 5 Eddie Murphy movies, Reg.
Boomerang is number 5. I'm gonna go with Nutty Professor's number 4. Trading Places number 3.
Ooh, okay.
All
right, you got 2 left.
Damn.
It gets rough.
Yeah. Shit. Trading Places. I need Trading Places again. Damn. Trading Places number 3. You know what?
Uh-oh, you better take out Trading Places.
Nah, man. Hold on. Let me see something.
When I saw the post on Instagram, I got stumped. It's difficult.
Tough. It's tough, bro. Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop, number 2.
Okay.
Coming to America, number 1.
All right, cool. Man. I'm not gonna put mine in order, but 48 Hours.
Okay.
Is I think is my favorite Eddie Murphy movie of all time. Boomerang is next. Beverly Hills Cop 2. I know Beverly Hills Cop is the better one, but Beverly Hills Cop 2, I watched like
I really fuck with that one.
Beverly Hills
Reggie Nielsen in that.
I watched that movie like a ridiculous amount of times, right? Coming to America and The Nutty Professor.
Nutty Professor number 1, okay.
Yeah. Nutty Professor number 1, just because like what he did in that movie, man, like it's just like I think what he did in Coming to America and Nutty Professor, like I feel like he just like he took like what Flip Wilson kind of like started, and I know like there's probably somebody before Flip Wilson, but that's who I know to like do it, like playing multiple characters, and like he just put that shit like another stratosphere. I think the only person that can even like think about like saying like they can do what Eddie did is Martin. Yeah. But I don't think Martin committed to the makeup the way that Eddie committed to the makeup.
And with Martin, it always still felt like it was Martin doing it. Where Eddie, it was like, these are people.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, these are people with personalities, different other actors and stuff like that. Yes,
with Martin, it was funny because it's like, look at Martin dressed as Mama Payne. Like it just, but it was funny. That was the funny part of it. With Eddie, it was easy to get lost in those characters.
Okay. Let's see. Max B is home. Do you care?
So I care that he's home. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's happy he's home.
But I
I was never into Max B music like that.
Yeah. So for me, I understand how big of a deal it is that Max B is home.
Mhm.
Welcome home, Max B, Big Avell, The Wave. I'm gonna hold my I'm gonna keep reserve like my like excitement to hear like the first full length project that Him and French are putting out, and then I'll see, because usually when guys come home from prison or jail, like there's a lot of
Something's
anticipation
lacking.
and then they'll put something out, and then it's just not like they're like we just had Thug and YF and Lucci come home and put out projects. I think Lucci put out the stronger project.
I heard Lucci's album was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Already Legend was the better project between him and what Thug put out, right? But a lot of times like artists hope that like their star like rises, their star like so they make their appearances and stuff like that. So I will keep I'll wait before I say like how I really feel.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what Max does. But I'm happy he's home. I want to see like what he does like with the music. I've seen like him perform live a few times already, and I'm like, all right, French needs to get him in like a studio and like work on his live shows.
I think out of everybody that's came out of jail so far, Max is not reliant on the music, because he's going to be good regardless, because he has hella personality,
right?
And he's going to find an avenue that works. Like he has to do the music because that's what people know him for. But I think if he ultimately separates himself from music and gets into something else, people gonna they're gonna fuck with it, because he's a personality for sure. And it carried over. What he used to do back then before he got locked up carries over into this era.
Agreed. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. And then last thing before we get it. No, all right, I'll give you the choice. Do you want to talk about Game's new project, or you want to talk about Ray J asking Beyonce to talk to Brandy at the show?
I'm down with both.
Okay.
Either way. Yeah,
so Game's new project, did you listen to it, and what are your thoughts?
I did. I like it a lot. The only weird track on there is the one where he sounds like Kendrick. He does like a Kendrick performance type thing.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. I hate when he does shit like that. But it's a solid Gangsta Grills. It's pretty good.
Game don't make bad projects, so I don't really have anything like negative to say about it. I just sometimes I just wonder like, what is his team doing? Like all right, they put out this Gangsta Grills project, right? But like I just want to know like, what is it, like what are they doing?
So
like he's like I still identify Game as like not an A-list rapper, but like a B-list rapper. So I think that his releases should have more prestige.
He hasn't been A-list since 05.
Yeah, he hasn't been A-list in years. But like I think that like he should be more pristine with his releases. Like I think that there should be more things that like he can do, and like he doesn't, and it throws me off. I
think you're right, but I think we haven't seen Game at the top of these conversations since he had major label backing, and I don't think he has that anymore. So we're gonna get a lot of, this is what independent releases look like, so like that, and that's what he is. So it is what it is. I think the way that he phrased this one was that it's coming out, so he's independent, but he still has his major industry connections, because he has those relationships. So the way that he said about this one was that this is just a prelude before his next album comes out, which is Documentary 3. So,
okay.
Yeah. So he said,
damn, he's doing Documentary 3? Okay.
So that's coming out in January, he said. I think he's trying to tie it into the anniversary for the first documentary, because that came out in January 2005. So that's what he's going to do. So this was like, he's like, I'm going to heat the streets up with this and then drop my album, which is not a bad idea, So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. He always drops a good album. So we'll see how this goes.
Okay. And next up, Willie Ray Norwood, a.k.a. Brandy's brother, a.k.a. the king of ghetto reality television, Ray J, recently made a post stating that Beyonce does not acknowledge his sister when she shows up to show support for her friend Kelly Rowland at the Boy Is Mine tour with Monica and Brandy. What are your thoughts? Do you think that Beyonce? I saw so there's a clip where they said Brandy's coming through. Beyonce respectfully stood to the side and she whispered, "Have a good show." And Brandy responded, "Thank you."
Yeah.
And then she went to the stage and did her thing. Do you think that Beyonce should be, going to, acknowledge her a little bit more or talk to her?
I think they actually do have issues. I mean, when you look at it, yeah, I think they have beef, some type of beef. Because I never thought about it until Ray J said something. And the video was funny when Ray J put it up because he went to go say something. He was like, "Yeah, I gotta say something," and then everybody cleared out in the background. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
So he goes on his Instagram. He's like, "I gotta say something," and then I guess the people that he was chilling with, they all moved the fuck out the way. He was like, "They all moved the fuck out the way because I'm gonna say something about Beyonce." Right? So they all left, and he was like, "Man, all I gotta say is."
I didn't see that part. I saw okay.
He was like, "Beyonce, when you come to these shows, man, just say what's up to me and Brandy. Like, say what's up, blah, blah, blah." And I don't think it's something that was public knowledge. Now, people wasn't thinking about it before. It was like, she's there for Kelly, and she took a couple pictures with Monica, but nobody was thinking about it. Now it's like, well, why ain't she taking no pictures with Brandy? I think there's something there. And I think it has a lot to do with when they was both on the come up. Maybe
you didn't see the clip where Kelly is talking to Brandy, right? They're catching up. Like, I don't know how old it is. And she was like, "Do you remember when we first met?"
She was like, "You was obnoxious."
Yeah, telling Brandy that. Brandy was like, "No." And she was like, "Yo, you kept calling us country. Asking why we talk like that."
Yeah.
Kelly was like, "We had just came back from the Caribbean, like Barbados, something like that. And I was super tan." And she was like, "Girl, you are so dark."
Yeah.
And somebody wrote that Beyonce has never forgot this shit.
Oh, that's probably why. That's probably why, honestly. And then now it started this whole thing on social media of like, oh, who's the better singer? Because, everybody calls Brandy the vocal Bible. So it's like, oh, who's the better singer? Is it Brandy or is it Beyonce or whatever? So I don't know, man. Brandy is one of my goats. I love Brandy to death.
Well, Brandy definitely has better vocals than
I think it's one of those things though where Beyonce becomes a better singer every year. It's kind of crazy. I don't think Brandy works at her craft as diligently as Beyonce does. So, I think Brandy, where it's like maybe
Brandy's a vocal Bible.
Natural, yeah, but she's a vocal Bible because they call her that because of her stacks and like what she's able to do when she stacks her voice. It's just super intricate and detailed. But like Beyonce, like I give it up, man. She's amazing. It's just
I stand on that. I stand on that. Brandy is a better vocalist than Beyonce.
I can't pick a side.
But okay, I guess here's the difference. Is it more impressive to you that a person can dance and keep their wind and still like keep a certain tone like Beyonce does? Beyonce and Chris Brown have the ability to dance and still be able to sing the way the song sounds. Where Brandy, I saw Brandy in a wheelchair all day. I don't even think
she was coming off the stage.
Coming off the stage. Yeah, that's like I think I made like with Danny asked, he was like, "Yo, why is Brandy wheelchair?" I was like, "You stayed in the hills for 2 hours."
Yeah, she's doing choreography, but not like Beyonce.
Yeah, not at all. I don't call that. That's not choreography. Get the fuck out of here.
So that's very impressive. Very impressive. But it also goes back to like how she trained coming up. Like her dad would have them niggas running up hills singing, in hills singing. Like that was real boot camp for them. So like, yeah, she comes from a different class. And Brandy, it was just her voice.
Okay. Let's get into the episode.
Let's do it. So today's episode, we're taking it to Queens. This duo recently, actually specifically for this album, got ranked best hip hop album of all time. And when we were talking about albums that we haven't done yet, I was like, damn, I don't think we did the Infamous album.
We have.
And yeah, of course, talking about Mobb Deep.
Mobb Deep, speaking of done language.
And the Infamous, Damn, that shit look clean as hell.
The iconic album cover.
Wow. Yeah. So this album was released in 1995, April 1995. Album features guest appearances from Nas, Raekwon, Ghostface Killer, and Q-Tip. Q-Tip had a lot to do with some of the mixing and the production on this. Most of the so let's see, it was largely produced by group member Havoc, obviously, with Q-Tip also contributing in production while serving as the mixing engineer. Most of the leftover songs from the album became bonus tracks for the Infamous album, which came out in 2014. Upon the release of this album, it achieved notable commercial success, debuted at a number 18 and number 3 on the top R&B hip hop album charts. And then the album wasn't certified platinum until 2020. Which is crazy.
Right.
Album produced 4 singles: Shook Ones Part 2, Survival of the Fittest, Temperatures Rising, Give It Up, and Giving Up the Goods. The first 3 singles achieved varying degrees of chart success, with Shook Ones Part 2 being the most successful. Yeah, I think when this album came out, the focal point and the selling point of it, in my opinion, was that Mobb Deep reshaped New York hop's landscape. Turning black street realism into cinematic poetry. Havoc's cold, minimal production, and Prodigy's dead-eye delivery gave voice to a generation navigating survival, pride, and paranoia in Queensbridge. And I think that really best summarizes what Mobb Deep did as a group.
Right. I think at this time, like, mafioso rap was on the rise, and Mobb Deep said, "Fuck all that shit. We grimy. This is grimy New York. This is what New York really sounds like. This is what is like in the projects. This is what is like when you got on your Timbs and you going up the steps because the elevator's broke and it's pissing the hallways and you see a crackhead, you know, and you going into your man's crib that lived with his grandmother, and you go in his crib and he got, you know, against the wall is just a stack of fucking sneakers, Vasquez boots, Nikes, you know, Timbs, just stacked up against the wall, and you got a TV in there, and he might have some weights to lift. Like, I'm getting real visual. It's just something like that. Like, and he just in his, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of shit.
And
that motherfuckers like remember vividly. That's what this album sounds like, and that's what this album represented.
That's the kind of scene that they painted for sure. And every few years, New York has a reset like that with somebody. So after this was DMX.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
Because after this, you still had Puff and everybody and like running around in like 96, 97 and everything, and Bad Boy was on fire. And then to reset again to this type of feel was DMX in 98.
Right.
So every few years, and then after that, it was 50.
Right.
You know.
So okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I was really excited to do this project. The state of hip hop at this time, right? The West Coast was kind of like taking over because Snoop like was a fucking phenomenon, right? So you had Snoop coming out, Dre. You had the Chronic that started it. Then you had Doggy Style. Then I guess Pac's Me Against the World wasn't West Coast yet, but you know he was like an amalgam of everything, right? And then on the East Coast, the Revival was there. Ready to Die came out. Illmatic came out, and Wu-Tang's Into the 36 Chambers. Like, so there was like a change because like, right. So you got the West Coast on the rise, right? And then all of the peace and love, Afrocentric energy in New York City was kind of going away. So everybody like, you know, like Brand Nubian, Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul, like, and Public Enemy, like that was kind of like being pushed to the side, and then the rise of the grime of New York was coming up, like, so everything was kind of like getting real dark and gritty and very, very 40 Below Timbs. I thought that was like a something that's like very interesting because like on one end, like you have like, you know, people from New York trying to like educate people and like teach people about where they come from. And then like you had some, like then on the other hand, you had grimy dudes like, yo, that shit don't fucking matter. Like my kids can't eat those books. Like this grimy shit that's happening, this is what's going on. And you know, like two things can be true.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, even the fact that, you know, Q-Tip had a hand in the production on some of this, it also lends his hand to the two things can be true type factor because, you know, Tribe Called Quest doesn't make music like this.
Right.
You know, so like him showing the opposite side of, showing a different side of New York and showing a different side of Queens even is a duality. But yeah, I think this album, when we say like it helped define and bring a central focus to New York in a different way, that's like from the jump, and it was super, you could tell it's super intentional, you know. Um, Even down to the album cover, like the blue and orange, like that's mixed colors. That's Mets. That's like it's essence. It speaks to it.
Right. And then and back then, like projects in New York City, that was the cut, like, so every housing project, like, you know, I guess like under the it's called Nitro now, but I'm pretty sure it was called something else back then. Like that was a color like that you would see when you would go to different projects. So the blue and the orange, and like that was like prominent because, like, you know, like for me, like, you know, you got Wagner projects, you got Wilson projects, you got East River projects, like, you know, you got Clinton, like, you know, like there's these different projects, and like you see this big sign outside of the project that tells you like what's the name of it. So for them, like, you know, recreating what the Queensbridge project's sign looks like, and like, you know, like there's, you know, like I think you've seen like there's people that literally go to fucking Marcy and take pictures in front of Marcy projects and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy to me.
And you know, it's just interesting that we had, you know, we had them and we had Wu-Tang at the same time, you know, at the same time of prominence. And, you know, they didn't really cross paths fully or step on each other's toes. They did their own thing and had their own sounds separately from very different parts of New York. I thought that was so interesting. And I don't think things like that happen anymore, especially with the boroughs. There's like people that jump off in New York now, but it's not like this. You know, like if you're from Brooklyn, it's like, yeah, you're Brooklyn, but all those boroughs have established their sounds. Whereas like at this time, they were defining those sounds at this time. You know, we haven't had anybody really big from Staten Island since Wu-Tang.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, no, like, as far as like rapping, nah, like, that's it. Yeah, no, I'm really trying to think. Like, I mean, Mac Wilds is an R&B singer.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot Mac is from Staten Island.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, this album helped shape a lot in
Right.
New York.
So, it's funny because Havoc has an interview where he was saying that, like, you know, like obviously they were together, they put out their debut project Juvenile Hell, and then pretty much almost got them dropped from the label. But he said that like Prodigy like went into like a different bag to like get better as a rapper. Like he said that like when it was time to come into these sessions, like Prodigy was like a different kind of animal. Like he said that he felt that on Juvenile Hell they were on the same level as lyricists. And he said that like Prodigy just like went into like a deeper like bag as far as like his lyricism, where like that's why he was okay just being called a producer. Like that happened to rap versus being a rapper. Like he said, like it just kind of like, you know, let him know like, okay, like Prodigy really do this rap shit. I can keep up with him to a certain extent, but like I'm not him.
Yeah.
And I think that was cool, like cool of him to like recognize and be like, all right, cool. Like I'm gonna focus on this production shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
No ego.
Yeah,
there was no ego with that.
That was dope.
That's fire. And I even think Havoc doesn't. We had an episode talking about how he doesn't get recognized
at all. He doesn't.
You know, because for his contribution, like even for Shook Ones alone, which is on this album, and talking about that essence of having a sound that really penetrated like New York the way that it did, he helped shape that.
Right.
You know, like Shook Ones is one of those beats that's like a lot of people call the soundtrack to New York. You know, so having something like that on his belt is not easy. And it doesn't get praised enough. But getting into the album itself, like we said, most production on this, of course, is done by Havoc, with Q-Tip stepping in to kind of, you know, really get to the mixing side of it, which is super important. We kick off with the start of your ending, 41st side. What you got?
Right. So I just wanted to, with that being like the song that starts off the album, like what's prominent to me is that like how paranoid of just in general a person that Prodigy was.
Yeah.
He was a very paranoid person. He was a conspiracy theorist. And I'm not saying that like his conspiracies he looked to was wrong. Like he always felt like there was something else going on. Like he didn't believe what was being presented to us. He questioned everything. So that like really just stood out to me. And like,
guy.
Yeah, like, he was a dark person and like he just did it. Like he was a pessimist. Like he always wanted to figure out like what angle are you getting at? Like what's going on? And so for me, I was just like, like that's pretty interesting. Like because truthfully, like being a rapper, like that's perfect. That gives you so much shit to talk about. Like it gives you so like to be a pessimistic person, right? To always question things, to always wonder like what is being said. Like I thought that was pretty cool. Like as a rapper, I'm not a pessimistic person. I'm a very optimistic person, but I like to see pessimists do things. Like I don't personally like. I wouldn't be able to like if Regg was a pessimist, I don't think we would be as close as friends.
Yeah.
But seeing a rapper be a pessimist, all fucking day.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
It is entertaining. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about it that way. But like, yeah, it gives its stories more fluff, you know, like I'll never, one thing that always stands out to me with with Prodigy is on Keep It Thorough. He says, you gangster, then shoot me. Who gives a fuck really? I miss my nigga twin, kill me. So I was like, damn, what? Like, but he says it so like fly and so quick. And it's like, yo, like I
agree.
I miss my niggas. Like kill me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like,
just do your thing. Like just do what the fuck you gotta do. Like, yeah, I agree with you. Right, hold on one second. So I can let Minette through.
Hey, what up?
How are you? All right.
Temperature dropped out there?
Oh yeah. It's not that bad.
Okay.
I walked. It was a good walk. Hi, honey. Thank you for inviting me over.
Down to like 30.
Take your time. I'm chilling as long as y'all are. I brought coquito that I made.
Oh my God, yes.
I wish I would have known, but I would have brought a bigger one.
Boys in the limo.
Okay. Baby boy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what. Who cares? She just fucking tired. He's not late. Yeah, shit like that.
Oh, because of yeah.
Yeah, it does. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that always stood out to me with Prodigy is how dark he could be, but how like thematic he can make his raps. You know, and I think that even helped, and I think people like Eminem really saw from that. Yeah. But yeah, that's a hell of an intro because it puts you right in that energy with him. And then we go into the infamous prelude.
Infamous prelude was cool, but I just want to get straight to Survivor of the Fittest.
Oh man,
Prodigy also is, I would say, the king of the opening liners. There's a war going on outside no man is safe from. Like,
but you can't hide forever.
That's just like I feel like that's probably one of the greatest opening bars of rap history, like ever.
He had, man, I go back to fucking Keep It Thorough. I break bread, ribs, like, what? You know, it's so simple, but it's like, who thinks of that?
Yeah.
Like how you coincide breaking bread, like getting money with like breaking somebody's ribs, like in the same sentence, just right after each other.
You just thought about shit you break.
Yeah. Like I break bread, ribs, like what? It's so crazy to me.
I thought that was so fucking fly. I thought that was so clever.
Yeah. I like, is it his verse was it Havoc? That's like, New York got a nigga depressed. So I think that's him on this song. It's like mixing vodka and milk. I'm going out blasting. Yeah. This song, this is a one. This is on one of my playlists that I play pretty often. It's a standout for sure.
Right. Yeah, like I said, like one of the greatest opening lines of all time or whatever like that. I also wanted to say this, right? So years later after their beef, like Jay-Z, when he went on he basically gave like Prodigy like this like compliment. He said that Prodigy is one of the best rappers to ever paint a picture with words. And then Nas described him as like a hood poet, like a war correspondent, like him, like kind of like giving you like, you know, like Anderson Cooper, like kind of like just giving you like the ins and outs and like what's going on and like telling you like, yo, this is what's going on and it's fucking crazy. And I just think that that's kind of fucking dope. Like to like get those like kind of like, these are two men that he's had problems with. He's written like books talking shit about Nas. Like obviously we know about him and Jay-Z's beef. And these men still could go on and say like, and this was before he died, like not after he died, like to say these nice things about him. They could have been like, yo, he's full of shit. Like this artist, like, you know, Jay-Z will never probably give like the acknowledgement to say like, yo, he was nice or whatever like that. But like Prodigy, like he respected him.
But who else is like nice that Jay-Z would have to acknowledge today?
Big Pun.
Well,
okay. That's alive?
That's alive.
I mean, obviously Nas, he had like...
Well, he already has.
Right,
and then it was already evident how he felt about Nas. He sampled him on this
right.
Show.
I'm trying to think. It's like Drake.
Okay, well, he acknowledges Drake is great.
Okay,
he gives that nigga features.
I think somebody that so you mean somebody that like he like probably like has
like that comes at him and it irritates him because that person is nice.
Game.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Game. Like if he ever like, I don't even think he like acts like Game is alive. Like I don't like if he would give him...
He did that Hot 97 freestyle.
Right.
That a lot of people felt was toward Game.
Oh, of course it was. Right. But I think like Game is a rapper that he probably thinks he's nice, but like probably won't ever give him that.
Yeah.
Like he just won't. Like he's
especially
like,
not today's day and age.
Of course not.
Yeah.
He's not gonna give him that. Game
because Game is gonna keep going.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Game has time for everything.
And you know what? Joe Budden as well. Like, I mean, I know they had their conversation, but I don't think he's ever like publicly said like, yo, Joe Budden was fucking nice.
Yeah, no, never.
Right. So
I think the only way we'll hear about these people being nice. The only Chucky Gomes. The only way we'll hear about these people being nice is if one of them, God forbid, passes away and Jay talks about them afterwards.
I fucking agree. I fucking agree with you. And yeah, so like, you know, like that's just one of the things. So all right, so this is perfect because the next one is Eye for an Eye. And
Nas and Raekwon.
Right. And I thought like this was really cool at the time because I know that at this time period, like Raekwon and Ghostface were really high on Nas. Like really big on, like they were big Nas fans, and like Ray and Ghostface were fucking haters. They didn't like nobody back at this time. So the fact that they even like went and worked with another group, and like RZA has went on to say like he didn't like none of that shit. He didn't like them doing features with other artists. He didn't like that Meth did the feature on Biggie's album. He didn't like that Raekwon was so close and Ghost was like so fond of Nas. He just wanted them all to fuck with. He was like, yo, it's 9 of us. Why the fuck do we need to work with anybody? But I thought that this was cool and like a huge sign of like respect. Because I don't think Raekwon wasn't just going to work with anybody.
It's funny because the person that also carried that type of mentality back when they was hot was 50. 50 didn't work with nobody that wasn't G-Unit or Aftermath. He didn't want to. And that's what like kind of made him start dwindling. And like...
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Because he didn't work with nobody. He only worked with Aftermath, even with production. He only worked with Eminem, Dr. Dre, and what's this other? High Tech.
High Tech.
That was it. And like he could, for him, it was like, why the fuck do I need to work with anybody? I got Dr. Dre right here. I got Eminem right here.
I'm trying to think of that. I wouldn't say that fucked him up though.
Because, you know, even back then, like if you look at it, Lloyd Banks was working with more people.
Right.
Lloyd Banks had Timbaland on the album. He had on his first album. He worked with Nate. Well, Nate Dogg worked with all of them at that time, but he worked with a bunch of different people. And then Game was such a problem for them at the time because he wanted to work with everybody. He was a fan of everybody. You know, so like, you know, for him that was just a problem. But
all right, to say okay, like I guess I felt like 50's problems were for other reasons. I think like he didn't have to like work with like other producers or other rappers at that time. I think for him it was more so he got successful so fast to me that like his content was becoming like they was like, yo, you're not in the club. You don't go out. Like you don't do the things that you're rapping about. And not saying like he was a phony, but they were just like, yo, we know that you don't go to because like you're so like calculated and you think of everything that can go wrong and like you know.
Even a song like How all the time. Like
like he was like 50 was so disciplined when he first came out that like everybody was just like, we know like you're just like working out right now. So that was something. But yes. So who would you say had the best verse on Not For Nah?
Your beef is mine's Prodigy.
Prodigy?
I think Prodigy.
You think Prodigy like really I agree with you. Like I just think it's like impressive because you have Nas who is like the golden child of like their neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. And then Raekwon, like, who is like pretty much viewed as the lyrical guy from Wu-Tang Clan, and like Prodigy is like, I'm gonna whip both y'all asses.
Prodigy, belt to ass,
ass,
and then that takes us obviously into just that prelude.
Okay,
it's short, nothing crazy to write home about, and then we can
go into giving
up
the goods, right? And that's Q-Tip.
Mm-hmm.
Who produced that, right?
Big noise.
That's cool. Like it was more like Q-Tip vibe, lo-fi.
Mm-hmm.
When I listen to the song, I pay attention to the production more than I do the lyrics.
Yeah, the production doesn't stand out on this one more than I would agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, but I think that's cool.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at it. Yeah, it's just like I'm like shit. Like Q-Tip did his thing. Isn't it cool that Q-Tip was so integral in so many hip hop albums like early on, like so Illmatic, this project, and it's another project that he was like integral in Busta Rhymes' first album.
Yes.
I'm missing like two other artists that
very
like
early on.
I want to say he was around, like he didn't produce on Reasonable Doubt, but he was around.
And I was kicking myself too after we did that Queens Mount Rushmore because Q-Tip.
A lot of people were upset with me for not putting that Tribe Called Quest. A lot of people.
I have to like.
A lot of people.
Yeah, man, because Q-Tip is that guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, but yeah, that's a good call out. The production definitely stands out on this more. And then we get into Temperature Rising.
Right. It's a song that I enjoy. Like it wasn't something where I was like, man, like like this is like the greatest shit like these niggas have ever done. But I definitely enjoy it. Like it's a good album cut to me.
It's a great performance record for Prodigy.
It is.
It's a really okay because it's rooted in the depression of the story that he's telling. The sample from Havoc is a nice touch. And then also, I think it was Patrice Rushen, who I really got into lately. Been listening to her catalog and shit. She's amazing. And then, but it's everything that shines about Prodigy. We talked about him having paranoia, and his storytelling, and all of that is on this song. I think this is his type of record. Something like this exists for him.
Okay.
And then Up North Trip.
Right. Which, I gotta double check and see if that Instagram page is still a thing.
It is, because I checked fairly recently. When I actually was revisiting this album, I was like, oh, Up North Trip, and I went to that page, or his page, and it's still around. Okay. I think it just gets buried in the lore, and because there's so many pages that do that now.
Okay.
So like, there's pages that have turned that into reels.
Okay.
He's still old school where it's just a post.
So just a post.
Album cover. Right. On this day, this came out.
Okay.
And back then it was so cool because he was the only one doing it.
Right, he was. And like, I was like, how the fuck he know all this
Now
it's
just so many pages.
Inspired the fuck out of us. I say that.
Yeah.
So what's the next song? Trife Life.
Mm-hmm.
And that Trife Life is just whatever the fuck you like, whatever the fuck you think of Trife Life, like trifling shit.
Yeah. Exactly. The storytelling is still there. I think Prodigy. This is some of Prodigy's best rapping, which is crazy because this was only their second album, and then he had so much more to offer, and like even in his solo projects that we got more of, and his link up with Alchemist later, you know, just made him that much more exciting. Shit, you talk about people having hands in errors. You know, Prodigy is right there too. You know, how I mentioned Q-Tip, like for Alchemist to be around
so early
and has lived so many different lives since then.
I agree.
Yeah, and he's only progressed and refined his sound and giving you different types of his production.
Right. And it's like, to me, I look at Alchemist and Pharrell on like two different sides of the coin. Well, like Pharrell was like very much like big sound crossover. And Alchemist was underground. But like they both were like around like whoever, like they were like their creative like heroes. So like Pharrell wanted to be around like Teddy Riley and like Q-Tip, right? So like pretty much like he understood like, okay, I understand like music because like I'm in band and in the church, and like he understood how to make like big crossover records and stuff like that, right? Musicality.
Yeah.
Whereas Alchemist, like he saw Havoc like as like his guru.
Yeah.
And like really like learn from him and like under his learning tree and like just continue like the slow grind of doing things. And it's funny because like he's a West Coast guy, but he fit into New York seamlessly and was able to do that.
That's a good point.
Like, so I just look at them like they're like the same person, but like just different sides of the coin.
Yeah, just very different optics and different motives.
Yes.
I think Alchemist and Havoc, that was one of those verses that I was campaigning for. I would have loved that because it would have turned into a celebration. They obviously would have came together, joined forces, and played shit that they both did for Mobb Deep.
Right.
You know, so it would have been great, but it could have started out amazing, and it would have highlighted both of them really, really well. But yeah, so that takes us into QU, Hectic.
This song is kind of a skip for me.
Yeah. I think funny enough, you know, I think Havoc raps better on this. Yeah. I think this is a highlight track for him.
It's a highlight track for him, but I feel like Prodigy feels the same way I did. Like,
yeah. I hear you. And then that takes us into Right Back at You with Ghostface again.
Right. Look at Raekwon and Ghost. Come on, man.
And Big Noise.
Yeah. Come on now. Like getting like I just like this. It's just unprecedented. Like this to me, like this is like the ultimate respect. I feel like like especially in the early '90s, if Wu-Tang fuck with you, it was just kind of like a sign of like, yo, you actually did nice.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess that's where, not to go on an old head rant, but like I guess that's where it was back in the day, where when like features were earned, it wasn't just a business move. That was a business move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you'll see shit, what was the example I had? You'll see Sweetie and Doja Cat make a song called Best Friend, but you'll never see them again no more.
Right. Yeah. You know they not cool. Yeah. You know they don't hang out. Yeah.
It's just a song. And back then it's like we had more stake in people collabing because you knew they really fuck with each other back then. DMX not fucking with you on a song just for money.
Right.
He really fucks with you.
Right.
Or he really respects your craft.
Yeah. Like X is definitely like talking very loudly and saying, "Don't do me greasy."
Yeah. Like you know? So yeah, that's what that is. But the grave prelude.
50 seconds.
Little quick listen, you know, takes us right into Cradle to the Grave.
This is a standout for me. I thought that this was like one of Prodigy's like best like performances, and I think this was like kind of like in his wheelhouse, something that like was very like at home for him. So I thought that was pretty dope as well.
Yeah.
The production on it was very like I wonder why this song wasn't a single.
There's a darkness to both of them. I can see why this wouldn't be a single, because it's a little dark, but I think Mobb Deep does that.
They shit was dark regardless, man.
Yeah,
like,
they do that pretty well already. So I guess I can see your point with that. Drink Away the Pain features Q-Tip, abstract man himself, with some jazzy production, obviously. What you think?
It was cool. Like it was it's not a standout for me. So it was just something where I was kind of like, all right, I can listen to this because I'm trying to get the shook ones, and like that's kind of like how it goes. It's a very good.
Let's get right into it then. Shook Ones comes on right after that, which is crazy.
That is so that is so bad. Like I don't know how that happens, but
I think Shook Ones could have started this album, or it could have been number 2.
It should have started the album. Shook Ones absolutely should. I don't understand the sequencing on this project, on that project. I don't understand, like, if they didn't think that Shook Ones was a strong enough song. I don't know. Like, what I actually, you know what? I actually need to watch like something like with Steve Rifkin, like talking about this project, because like I want to understand, like, did they not believe in Shook Ones 2? Like, why? Like, is it because it's the second part of Shook? Like, you know, is Shook Ones 2 kind of like Jay-Z The President's 2? Like, I need to understand why that song wasn't like touted or whatever like that, because I think that like Shook Ones 2, They Reminisce Over You, the Benjamins, like there's certain rap songs that I feel like are some of the greatest rap songs to ever exist, and Shook Ones is highly up there.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's one of the greatest hip hop songs ever. I think this song, it carries so much weight because, you know, I honestly feel like for a lot of people, they coincide Shook Ones with 8 Mile.
Yeah,
you know,
they do.
With what they did in 8 Mile. It starts off 8 Mile.
Yeah.
But on its own, it's just the soundtrack to the city. Like it feel like, especially in this time frame, you know, you can make any film that's New York centered and put this.
Absolutely. Especially like and it's funny because like obviously most people would say 90s, but I feel like you could play this like any time period.
Yeah.
And like you could like do it like to open it to like a heist movie in New York. Like is it any kind of thing? Or just you can play Shook Ones like just like the grind of going to work every day. Getting on the train, just fucking getting on the fucking hamster wheel. It's fucking incredible.
That's really what it is. It's a classic record that we can't say enough about.
Yeah.
It's just so good and hits on all levels. And there was a story that Havoc said that he recalled that the beat was about to be deleted until Prodigy walked in and was like, "Yo, nah." He convinced him to keep it.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is hearing stories like that is always insane. Or hearing stories like when Just Blaze played "Pump It Up" by mistake for Joe Budden, you know, and he was like, "Yeah, nah, send that. I need that." Or hearing the story of who was it? Was it Chuck D? Who, I forget who it was that played what you call it for LL, doing it. Who played Doing It for LL?
I forget who played Doing It for LL, but the fact that people don't pick up on the fact that it says Go Brooklyn in the background, and that's why Biggie don't fuck with him.
So and he's justified in that because Biggie helped craft that shit.
Yeah.
And if that happened today, somebody would probably be getting sued.
Right. LL was too big of a star at that time to not get it, though. So I get why he get it. And I forgot what song it is that Biggie shits on LL. I forget what song it is, but...
Because he just didn't, I mean...
LL was just an arrogant nigga back then, though. Because, like, you know, he took that song from Biggie, and then on Loungin', he has a song that says, on Doing It. Also on Doing It, he comes at Tupac because he said... She loves Tupac but hates from LL, like because of Kadado Jones. Like LL was just a messy nigga.
Yeah. LL was that nigga, man.
Bro, crazy
dude, crazy ass nigga. But yeah, so off of Shook Ones, right?
What a great closer.
Yeah, incredible. I think. Well, no, Party Over officially closes it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Party Over is a great closer.
Yeah, Party Over. It's like a deep breath. It's like, okay, what a journey, you know.
Do you think, like, I need to find this out, do you think that Kendrick is influenced by Prodigy?
For sure. I mean, well, I think the lining of Kendrick being influenced by Eminem being influenced by Prodigy, it's all there.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love to hear like if he is a fan or not, because I know that like he preferred like Reasonable Doubt to Illmatic. Like he said that on Twitter before, but I want to like know, like, has he gone back and like listened to Prodigy and kind of like, you know, gotten some inspiration? I would love to know.
I love when niggas go back and listen to Prodigy because it's so evident. Like when that's what really I was really excited for the Future and Metro rollout because they kept playing Prodigy interviews. I was like, oh man, and Prodigy is on the album, like
right, talking shit,
yeah. I'm like, oh shit, like they really went back on like old DVDs and watched this shit. So it was really cool. But okay, we've reached our verdict segment of the Infamous and Mobb Deep. How do we feel? What's your verdict?
This album has, you know, some of the best hip hop tracks ever. You have Shook Ones Part 2, Survival of the Fittest, Right Back at You, Up North Trip, Temperatures Rising. The skits like aren't filler, like they actually connect the project throughout. Right. It's kind of like it's kind of like a crime saga. It's kind of like what it gives me the feel of like what The Wire will be if they did The Wire in New York. So I just wanted to set that up by saying this album's a classic. It's 5 out of 5. It's like, to me, like this is one of the greatest rap albums like to ever exist. I just wanted to get that out the way. This is what Giuliani's New York was like. Like this was Giuliani's New York at that time, and like this is what it felt like. This felt like watching like an episode of NYPD Blue or New York Undercover at this time. Like it just. And I'm biased. I'll tell you that I'm biased. I grew up during this time. Like I came in to my own during this time. So like yes, like it's familiar to me, and it's what I felt like New York sounded like growing up.
So yes, so I agree. It's a 5. I think for different reasons though. For me, because I'm a New York like transplant. So like for me, this puts me in the world of that era. So and it does it in such a theatric way for me. So like. If I wanted the feel of like what it looks like, and to me, this is what New York or what I could imagine New York was like in the 90s in that time frame. You know, in 95, I hadn't even sniffed New York yet. You know, like I've been here to visit, sure. But if I wanted to like actually feel or see what it was like visually or like try to imagine it, I could put something like this on, and especially in the rap landscape, and it'd give me that type of feel. And Prodigy, you know, it took me growing up and actually going back and listening to some of his shit to realize like how visual he was with his raps, how intentional he was, and how dark he was. I don't think I really grasped that because there was no emphasis on it because he just rapped like for real, like so you really got to listen to him to really pick that up. And then Havoc to do something as like that's not egotistical, not focusing on crafting his bars, just being like, you know, like how Taurian said, like, yo, he got it. You know, I'm gonna focus on these beats and let him be great and like actually highlight his greatness. I thought that was fire. And they kept doing that. You know, this is one of the strongest hip hop albums of all time, you know, not just the 90s. So, yeah, it's a perfect 5 for me. Yeah. But like we always say at the end of the show, if you haven't listened to this, highly recommend. If you have, let us know your thoughts. It was recently ranked Pitchfork's best hip hop albums of all time. You know, fuck Pitchfork sometimes. They get it wrong sometimes. But I think they got this, you know, I you know, that's still hard for me to say, but it at least speaks to, you know, the weight that this album carries. So I don't take that lightly. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
And we're out of here.
Catch you guys next time.